Welcome to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Keyshawn Dorsey, here with Coach Moore. Coach, welcome to the show.
Hi, Keyshawn. Thanks for having me on.
The Tigers are now 4-0 after beating Montclair, New Jersey 49-7 last Friday night. Once again, your team had a balanced effort with success on offense, defense, and special teams. Did you see it in that way?
I did see it in that way. I thought it was a really good game all the way around. I thought as a special teams unit, I thought we had one of the best games we've had in the last couple of years.
Tell us more about the two plays in the first quarter where your kick coverage team recovered 2 fumbles by Montclair on kickoffs. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't think I've ever seen 2 back-to-back like that. The first one, it was kind of a bang-bang play. The first guy hit the returner, stood him up, and the second guy came in and just put his shoulder on the ball. Ball pops out, and you've got 4 or 5 Tigers right there scrambling to recover the ball. And the second one, I thought their returner was lacked a little technique as far as carrying the football. The ball got out away from his body. It was just a one-on-one tackle. Great play by Miles Stinson, and same thing, put his shoulder on the ball. Ball comes out, and the Tigers recover.
With the help of your offensive line and wide receivers, Tiger quarterback Aiden Longwell had a record-setting night. What do you think about his performance?
Really good performance. 5 touchdowns in the first half. Anytime you do that, there's a lot of things going well, and good route running by the receivers. Good protection by our offensive line for a lot of the night, and Aiden's starting to get really comfortable in the pocket, it looks like, and making really good reads, and the timing between him and the receivers keeps getting better and better every week.
Because of the score, you were once again able to play a lot younger players on both sides of the ball. How does this game experience build depth for your team?
I mean, anytime you can get young guys reps in a game setting, that's going to be a good thing. And not just young guys. There's some juniors and sometimes some seniors that are getting reps in those situations, and there's those substitute for game reps, and we're happy that those guys can get those.
What do you like the most about the first 4 games of the season so far?
Well, I like the 4 wins. I like that. But I really like that our kids are playing hard. I think we bring effort every week, and I really like the level of physicality that we do our work with.
In a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player and hear more from Coach Moore. But first, a word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining Coach Moore and I is Tiger wide receiver Trayvon Morgan. Trayvon, how does it feel to be 4-0 so far this season?
It feels really good. We've been working really, really hard and very focused, and I hope to continue it throughout the season.
What do you do during the off season to improve your skill?
Just trying to get in the indoor as much as I can. Just lifting really, really hard, and just helping my teammates and creating bonds and getting better.
What are some of your personal goals this season?
Nothing, just to really win a state championship and give my the younger ones that are coming up better. And, eventually just get to college and do what I'm supposed to.
You're getting a lot of attention from numerous colleges wanting you to play football for them. What's that process been like so far?
Humbling, very humbling. I've been very patient. I've been working really, really hard. Had a couple things that I had to do and, got it done. So I'm just playing football right now and just focus on my team.
And finally, the Tigers play Firestone this Friday night. Tell us about Firestone's defense you'll be facing.
They're a one-high defense, so we've seen a one-high already this season against I think Warren. Played a one-high, and we just really gotta focus and do what we're supposed to. And once we do that, we're a very unstoppable team.
Thanks, Trayvon. Good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
Coach Moore, tell us more about what Trayvon brings to this year's team.
Trayvon's really developed as a leader, I think, this year, and in the expectations he sets for himself, and how hard he works, and his willingness to hold others accountable as well.
Your Tigers are home this Friday night to face Akron Firestone. You've struggled so far this season. They have struggled so far this season. Tell us more about their program and their record coming into this week's game.
The Falcons are 0-4, so it's been a tough go for them so far this season. They do have some talented players, but they just haven't been able to really get anything going consistently so far this season. We need to concentrate on us, worry about the Massillon Tigers, make sure that we're having great practices and go out and play a great football game regardless of the opponent.
What can you tell us about Firestone's offense?
They do multiple things. Have a returning starter at running back, new quarterback, tight end sets, run and pass. Similar to the question about the whole team, they really haven't gotten a whole lot going so far this year, but they do have some players with some talent.
What else can you tell us about Firestone's defense in addition to what Trayvon shared?
They've had a tough time really getting anything going so far this year. Even front, like Trayvon said, a lot of one-high coverage, a lot of cover 3, cover 1. Have played some good opponents, and have struggled really to stop the run. We need to have good practices, worry about us, and come out and play a really good ball game.
And finally, what are the overall keys to a Tiger win in Week 5 against Firestone?
First thing is we need to stop the run. Second thing is we need to be able to run the football. And the third thing is we need to take care of the ball and prevent turnovers.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Trayvon Morgan for joining us on the show here today. The Nate Moore is brought to you by each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Keyshawn Dorsey. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our career technical education department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing featuring Tiger Swingman director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you every week by Howard's Tiger Regs in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Maddie Kaufman. With me is Mr. Neel. Welcome to the show. Hi, Mr. Neel.
Hi, Maddie.
At last Friday night's football game, the band helped celebrate their 80th season with a special performance with the Alumni Band. Tell us about that halftime show and the night altogether.
Well, that was a really special show for us, and it even went back to Thursday night when we had our rehearsal with the Alumni Band, and we put that entire 12, 13-minute halftime show together in one practice on Thursday night. And it was just so cool to see all the different people come back from all the different eras of the swing band, and watching the interactions between the alumni and the current members, and just watching everybody put that show together was really cool for me personally. And I think the crowd, by their response, enjoyed the show as well. It was so good to see everybody and just celebrate the traditions that we share, like the opening routine. We were able to do that all together, and just some school songs, and we recognize Bonnie Miller as a class of 1968, was our most experienced marcher out there, and we had about 150 alumni come back. So that's our biggest alumni band since I've been here in the last 13 years, which was really cool to see. And I don't know, it's just one of those special nights that I'm sure I'm going to remember for a long time, and I hope lots of people do as well.
What were some of the comments you heard from the current band members and comments from the alumni band members about the performance?
I'd say our current band members really enjoyed, getting to meet the alumni and talk to them, and for some of them, see some of their friends come back, who just recently graduated. I think they really enjoyed the performance. But the alumni, I had a lot of alumni come up to me, particularly after the fact, but all during the weekend, and say, just thanks for organizing this event. I think they realized how much work went into that, and just to be able to come back and perform one more time, I think really meant a lot to them. And I heard that from quite a few people, so that makes all that work worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah. How did your staff go about organizing such a large event?
Well, like I said, it was not easy. We had to secure instruments for all the people who are coming back. Most of them don't have their own instrument, particularly the large instruments like the sousaphones and the percussion, and so we had to borrow a lot of instruments from other schools. We had to even fix up some old instruments that we had around here. We needed to organize the shirt orders. Everybody got a new shirt that says 80 years of swing that they were all wearing on the field. We had registration that had been open all summer, trying to figure out how many people were coming back, and then to write the routines for all those people took quite a while. You're writing a show for double the amount of people that we normally write a show for. So it was a lot of work, which is one of the reasons we only do that combined show every 5 years. We'll celebrate the 85th anniversary. In 5 years from now, we'll do another big halftime show like that. And in these in between years, we'll do just the alumni band performing at our band show each year. And that's a little easier because they can use some of the instruments that the current band uses, and we can kind of share instruments. But when everyone's performing together, you got to get a lot more instruments from other places. So, Mrs. Smith-Heisler did a lot of organizing. Mr. Nussbaum did a lot of work on percussion instruments, and our staff, Mr. Gates, Mr. Unferdorfer, Mr. Stutzman, we had a lot of help from our staff coordinating all those people. So, great question. Thank you for asking that, and you're right, it was a lot of work.
Are there any other specific events coming up that will continue to highlight the band's 80th season?
I don't think anything specific like that. I mean, that was our real big celebration of that, but we'll continue to, announce and just kind of remind people that this is our 80th year, but I wouldn't say an event or anything specific like that, but you'll continue to hear Mr. Wenzel say, the 80th anniversary edition of the Massillon Tiger Swing Band from time to time, so we'll keep celebrating all year.
And now a word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Massillon fans all know the best place to find great Tiger apparel and much more is Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Howard's Tiger Rags is proud to sponsor the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. How about a new football t-shirt and hat? See their cold weather items and Letterman jackets too. Need a hoodie? Howard's has nearly 300 in stock all the time. Don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel, tiger mugs, and framed wall art. They'll even help you get ready for prom. Visit Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Follow them on Facebook and give them a like.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. The Swing Band Review is coming up this Saturday, September 22nd at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, starting at 7 p.m. I know we talked about it last week, but can we review the details of the show again?
Well, we have 10 bands that'll be performing. It's this Saturday, September 22nd. The gates open at 5:30. The show starts at 7. And tickets are $6 for adults, $4 for senior citizens and students, including college students. And children 12 and under are free. And I'll direct anyone to tigerswingband.com for a full list of all the bands that are coming. But it should be a great night of a lot of good band performances, and we're excited to host in Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Great venue for a band show. We can sit all the bands on the home side, and everybody gets to watch all the other band shows. So, and we got this wonderful new scoreboard to take a look at the shows from above as well. So, thanks.
On Friday night, the band will have another new halftime show to get ready for the game against Firestone. Tell us more about that and how your preparations are going for the show.
This week is going to be, Game 5, show number 4. And we are really excited about this show. We've put a lot of work into this particular halftime show. It's going to be a Disney-themed show. So we are doing 14 different Disney songs within the halftime show. So it's a medley of a ton of recognizable Disney music. I'm not going to list them all. I'll make people watch it and see if they can recognize them themselves. We've prepared a lot of special effects and things around the show. So that's really all I'm going to say about our show. But we've been working on this most of the summer for this game on Friday night, and we're very excited to present a lot of Disney music for people.
Which halftime show will the band be performing for the review?
The Disney show, absolutely. We put a ton of work into this, and we only do a show for each home game, a different show each home game. So we want to get at least 2 shows out of all the preparations we've done for it. So we will do the Disney show on Friday and Saturday night.
As we approach the halfway point of the football season, do you have a sense of your band's energy level and attitude growing for the weekend's performance?
I think we're getting a little bit more experience. Each game we get a little bit more comfortable, I think, as I look at the students. I think the energy is also growing. Just with that confidence comes a little bit more energy. There's also a grind of that daily learning and new music to memorize, and so there's a little fatigue setting in at the same time. So you have kind of 2 things going on at once. We're excited, we're getting more confidence, but we're also getting tired. So working through that and just embracing that daily grind of continuing to work. I think we're in a decent place right now. So like I said, looking forward to this weekend, and I think the crowd's reactions to each of our shows so far has motivated the students to continue to work hard to put on the next new thing. So I'm seeing a lot of hard work from the students, which is great, and a lot of learning being done, which is why we do this in the first place. So thanks for asking that.
We want to thank Mr. Neel, director of the Tiger Swing Band, for being here this week on Swing. Our show is sponsored each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Maddie Kaufman. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon. And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible. I like the relationships that I've developed in this class. The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even like just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on, and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me.
Massillon CTE works for me.